Tibetan Chortens have a distinctive appearance. Aboard a lurching bus from Gongkar Airport on my first trip to Tibet, I shakily took a seat and peered out the window. Through the desperately thin air, I spied on a hilltop a Chorten of pronounced Tibetan appearance against the skyline bathed in Wagnerian colors. 3 women in dark brown clothes, with matted hair, were circumambulating it. The image seemed to be a timeless apparition that flew to me from the age of the Dharmarajas. Chortens are also called stupas, which is their precise name in Sanskrit, or pagodas, a vague word of frustratingly obscure origins, possibly coined by the Portuguese in 16th century South India. While their shape is subject to artistic variation, Chortens have common characteristics meant to evoke the image of the historic Buddha seated on a lion throne. This is the square base of the Chorten and the lower 4 steps. Moving upward, the throne leads to a bell-shaped depository representing the material body of the Buddha. This depository is surmounted by a tall and slender spire symbolizing an umbrella. Umbrellas were a prerequisite of royalty in ancient times and a symbol of the Buddha's sanctity. At the pinnacle are a flame, the moon, and the sun, representing enlightenment and the unity of opposites. The bell-shaped depository often holds offerings, usually precious metals and jewels, sacred relics, or religious artwork. These are placed there by the people who commissioned the construction of the Chorten. Chortens may also serve a funerary purpose as the receptacle for the remains of a lama. This follows the legend that the disciples of the Awakened One divided his cremated remains among his followers, who entombed them in 8 separate Chortens in India. Subsequently, the remains were divided up and spread throughout the Buddhist world. A Chorten also sanctifies an auspicious site, such as the entrance to a city, a mountaintop, or a place associated with the life of a master of the Dharma. On arriving in Lhasa, your guide will present you with a white silken or cotton scarf. This charming Tibetan custom dates from the early 9th century. A yogi and a monk scholar recommended the ruling king to abandon the royal custom of presenting the skin of a fox, leopard, or tiger to a meritorious official. Such gifts were a token of respect and gratitude for exceptional service. The 2 sages felt this brought about an unnecessary killing of animals, and so persuaded the king to acknowledge his officials by instead giving them highly brocaded cloth. These were eventually replaced by the khadag, white silken or cotton scarves that are offered to show respect. A khadag is presented with 2 outstretched hands with palms up. Any proffered gift is placed in the middle of the khadag. It is given and received with bows. Khadags are also placed around the neck of a recipient to welcome someone worthy of esteem. Tibetans also demonstrate their reverence by throwing khadags at massive applique portraits of the Awakened One when these are rolled out on the sides of a mountain during festivals. Or, more dangerously, they do so at outlawed symbols of independence, such as the Tibetan flag draped on a temple. Tibetans customarily wear a chuba, which is a tunic closed with a clasp to the right and reaching below the knees. These used to be made of undyed sheepskin or of elegantly embroidered purple or blue silk. For the aristocrats, a chuba had long sleeves that hid the hands as a sign of being free from manual labor. For footwear, boots had been the standard accessory since ancient times. Women often wear the pangden, a multicolored, horizontally striped apron over the chuba. Originally for practical use, it became a fashionable piece of clothing for all classes.